Well, now, this right-wing vermin, Jerome Corsi, this hideous, obesely overweight, ugly, fascist little piglet, Jerome Corsi issued an apology this afternoon and retracted, yeah, like that makes a difference, the story that he spread on InfoWars and through the little prick Sean Hannity and Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh, another obese fuck on the right. All of the garbage that they put out there about Seth Rich, an innocent person who was murdered in a burglary, and these vulture, ghoul sons of bitches jumped on that story and turned it into something it was not and could not have been. And the people who listened to that garbage, the people who listened to this little shit, Sean Hannity and the rest of them, just bought it, just ate it up. So Corsi issues an apology and retracts his story that he wrote, spreading all the bullshit about DNC staffer Seth Rich. In the retraction, which, by the way, was featured on the front page of InfoWars, that is part of a law or a legal settlement that these scum-sucking little Nazis had to agree to. In that retraction, Corsi said this. He conceded that, quote, my allegations were not based upon any independent factual knowledge. In other words, he fucking lied. He added, the retraction added, it was not Jerome Corsi's intent to rely upon inaccurate information or to cause any suffering to Mr. Rich's family. To that end, Mr. Corsi retracts the article and apologizes to the Rich family. You filthy, God, I hate these people. I just fucking hate them. These right-wing devils that the Christians love. The fucking Christians love people like Corsi and Hannity. They're Christians, by the way. And this scummy Alex Jones. What is wrong with you people? You Christians. Why do you associate with this garbage and pollute your Jesus every fucking day you do? Ah, screw you. The retraction was demanded by the legal team for Aaron Rich, the brother of Seth Rich. Corsi's retracted story cited a Washington Times article that said, that's another part of the right-wing Nazi sewer, this fucking Washington Times. That article said, with no evidence, nothing, that Seth Rich leaked this trove of DNC emails to WikiLeaks. The Washington Times story was deleted from their website last October after Aaron Rich filed a lawsuit against the fascist newspaper. And please don't buy this shit that the Washington Times is conservative. It is not. None of this shit is conservative. It is all fascist, every one of these people, every one of these organizations. If you have any doubts, what would it take to convince you? Well, if you're listening to this podcast, you don't have any doubts. The Washington Times retraction said, quote, the column, which appeared in the Washington Times, included statements about Aaron Rich, the brother of former DNC staffer Seth Rich, that we now believe to be false. You now believe it to be false, you fucking worms? You never check anything. You are not a newspaper, Washington Times. You're a shit sheet for the fascist movement in this country, just like Fox is a fascist broadcast outlet. The Washington Times article, which the lawsuit by the Rich family said was published both online and in print That Washington Times article stated that it was, quote, well known in intelligence circles that Seth Rich and his brother Aaron Rich downloaded the DNC emails and was paid by WikiLeaks for that information. Nothing in that sentence is true except the Rich brothers' names. Oh, you dirty bastards, you dirty bastards. And then 2.5 years later, you retract the story. And I suppose your brain-dead little Nazi readers out there and the scum that listen to Hannity and Limbaugh, they're going to get the retraction? If they do hear the retraction, well, that's a deep state move. Joshua Riley and Merle Governsky, who serve as part of Aaron Rich's law team, counsel. They said in a joint statement that, quote, the apology and retraction issued today by Mr. Corsi and posted by InfoWars is another important step toward obtaining justice for the Rich family. We will continue to litigate our defamation claims against conspiracy theorists who refuse to retract and apologize for similar false statements, end quote. A representative for InfoWars did not immediately respond to a request for comment today by CNN, but Corsi tweeted that as a Christian, he fucker tweeted this, as a Christian, I have sympathy for the suffering the Seth Rich family has gone through. You filthy pile of shit, you're the one that caused it. And fuck you're a Christian. You're not a Christian. You're a slimy, fat, ugly old man. Fuck you. God, I hate these people, Kathy. Does that come through? Yeah, it comes through. As a Christian, I have sympathy for the suffering the Seth Rich family has gone through that I fucking caused because I am such an evil, disgusting lump of bone and tissue, and the world will be a cleaner place when I finally fucking die. God, Of course, he also told CNN that he retracted the story because it relied on information that had been retracted by the Washington Times. However, this Christian, this self-identified Christian, I mean, it's fucking unreal. You wonder why I jump in this Christian horseshit so often? There's a good example. This lard ass has the nerve to declare that by definition he is a follower of a 2,000-year-old rabbi who said, quit fucking each other and live a decent life. And he claims that he follows that rabbi? Corsi, who, by the way, is an asshole buddy of Roger Stone, who probably will be soon going to prison. And the two of them has spent years spreading right-wing lies, bullshit, damaging information, none of which was true. These fuckers like Trump, like Jared Kushner, like Trump Jr., like Ivanka, they wouldn't know the truth if it came up and jumped on their fucking back and smashed their head against a wall. They wouldn't know they don't know what truth is. And despite previously saying, I think we all heard that this Jerome Corsi lump of shit said, oh yeah, I'm going to cooperate with their investigators, with Mueller's investigators, right? He filed a lawsuit in December, 3 months ago, against Mueller. And Corsi claimed that federal authorities unconstitutionally searched his phone and electronic records. You Nazi, fuck you, you Nazi son of a bitch. You're another one that hides behind the Constitution, just like Trump, just like that little rat fucker Sean Hannity, just like Roger Stone, just like all of you slimy bastards. You hide behind the U.S. Constitution, and you will do everything in your power to destroy it and establish your goddamn fascist so-called Christian state. I hate you people. I swear to God, I just wish all of you would fucking keel over dead. Your lives are utterly worthless. Worthless. You are shit stirrers. You are liars, connivers, con artists, grifters. Every one of you. Man. Kathy, play me something here for a 2-minute break so I can calm down. I'll be back in a minute. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.